The story begins 65 years ago, when the world was almost destroyed by a nuclear war. Electricity and all communication systems were completely wiped out in a single night. The entire world was going through a terrible time. Then, in the Amazon rainforest, a scientist discovered the Genesis tree. Its miraculous flower possessed so much power that it could provide electricity to the entire world. With this, humanity began to rebuild everything. After this discovery, all Genesis trees came under government control. 90% of the children born after this nuclear war began to develop genetic problems. Scientists then tried to solve this problem by incorporating the flower's essence into human DNA. After this, every human being began to be born with some kind of special ability. Some had exceptionally enhanced hearing, while others had incredibly sharp eyesight. People born with these abilities were called genetics, and they lived like royalty in this new world. However, about 10% of the population had weaker immune systems, and their bodies did not accept the flower's essence at all. These people were called specials, and they were only given menial jobs like cleaning and maintenance. Now we see Chloe at the Genesis Institute, where she is on a class trip as a student, and her wheelchair-bound partner, Leon, is there as a cleaner. While everyone was distracted, Leon used a device to open a locked door and entered a private area. Checking a map, he realized 2 guards were nearby, so he sent out a small, mouse-like toy. The guards chased after it, and when they caught it, sleeping gas was released from inside the toy, knocking both guards unconscious. Leon took their keys, went to the ventilation system, and attached a gas tank. The sleeping gas then traveled through the pipes, putting the scientists to sleep. He then put on a mask and attempted to enter the lab, but the code he had was wrong. He called Chloe and asked her to get the correct code. In the main lobby, Chloe overheard some boys talking about the specials, saying they should be killed. Chloe started arguing with them. The other children also began to provoke them. A guard rushed over. Chloe, feigning helplessness, asked the guard for help and, at the same time, stole a notebook from his pocket. In the notebook, she found the correct code, which she sent to Leon. As soon as Leon received the code, he quickly entered the lab. He took out his mother's old watch, which had an inscription that read, "We are all one, we are all equal." Reading this gave him courage. He pulled the lever, the machine opened, and inside was the Genesis tree. He took an old weapon and began to break through the glass. But as soon as he tried to pluck a flower, the tree shot out many spikes, and suddenly, an alarm went off. Leon, however, still managed to pack the flower into a blue capsule. An announcement was made that the building was going into lockdown and everyone had to evacuate immediately. Chloe wanted to wait for Leon, but the guards forced her out with the other students. Luckily, Lion also managed to get out in time. Outside, Lion deliberately bumped into Chloe, making her drop her teddy bear. Before returning the teddy bear, he hid the capsule inside it. When the guards checked Leon's pockets, they only found a watch. They mocked the inscription on the watch and called Leon a freak. A man was carefully checking all the students, but he didn't suspect that the flower was hidden inside the teddy bear. A little later, Chloe and Lion were watching the news on a large screen on the street. Senator Frank was telling people, "Why before birth? We can use the flower even after people are born." Then the famous singer Mira appeared. She announced that she was doing a free tour in the district of people without powers so that everyone could come together. After changing his appearance, Lion explained to Chloe that politicians and celebrities only put on a show. They don't care about people like them. Just a little while ago, a poor man like them was pushed out of a food store on the street. Then they saw a cleaner wiping something off a window. It read, "Death to genetics," meaning that not everyone was happy about genetics. Meanwhile, Mira's manager told her that the situation was becoming dangerous. The special district where the 10% of people on whom the flower didn't work lived was already very risky, and there would be a huge crowd, so the autograph session had to be canceled. Mira didn't like this at all. She said, "That's not how unity is achieved. I have to go to the people. I have to make them feel like I'm one of them." She refused to cancel the event. When Chloe and Leon were leaving for home, guards checked their IDs at the special district gate. While Leon went shopping, Chloe was watching Frank's interview on TV. Frank was saying that he had created a medicine that would allow the 10% of people who hadn't developed powers to finally experience them. They too could now be made like everyone else. Chloe was very happy to hear this, but Leon said it was all a lie. Then they both went to their home, which was a small workshop. Chloe grows plants there, and Leon builds various devices. Leon extracts the power-containing parts from the flowers and uses them to create special prosthetics for disabled people so that they too can live a normal life. The client's money helps them make ends meet. After finishing a client's job, a man called from the genetic district and said he needed something fixed. Chloe refused, saying they don't do house calls. He would have to come to the shop. But when Leon heard the man would pay triple, he said they would go. Chloe was scared because it was a bit illegal. Leon reassured her, saying he knew the whole area, where the guards were and where they weren't. He could get in without anyone noticing. They arrived at an expensive restaurant, where the cook let them in through the back door. The cook was like them. He had a mechanical suit that helped him walk. Despite his disability, suddenly a gang called the Anti-Genetics broke down the main door and cut the power. Leon finished fixing the suit. The cook said he would go see why the power went out and also bring their money. The gang started trashing the restaurant and killing people with special abilities. Within minutes, many tables were broken and many bodies lay on the floor. Then the gang leader started writing something on the wall. Just then, the cook returned to the kitchen, covered in blood. With his last breaths, he told Chloe and Leon what was happening outside and then died. Now Chloe and Leon tried to escape, but the back door was locked. They had to figure out a way to get out of there. Leon told Chloe to help him put on the cook's mechanical suit. A few minutes later, two gang members came into the kitchen. They only saw the dead cook because Chloe and Leon were hiding. They were talking about a small show tomorrow and a big job the day after while writing something on the wall. One of the thugs tried to offer some ideas, but the boss threatened him with a knife, saying there would be no changes to the plan. Okay? One of the men dropped a piece of paper, and Chloe picked it up. When they heard police sirens, the thugs left. Suddenly, Leon's suit lost control. The suit automatically made him stand up and threw him onto the counter. The two men came after him, so Leon fought them using dishes and hot water. During the fight, the boss's mask came off, revealing his face. The thugs pinned Leon down on the counter, and Chloe jumped in to save him. Then Leon threw flour at the thugs and quickly tried to escape. He and Chloe ran towards the exit. Using the suit's strength, Leon broke down the door, and they both got out. Outside, Leon found it very difficult to walk in the suit, so Chloe helped him and led him into an alley. Police cars drove by but didn't see them. Chloe realized that the suit's leg was slightly damaged. That's why she helped Leon walk all the way home. The next day, reporters covered the entire case, and a photo from security cameras showed Leon and Chloe. Now, the media started spreading rumors that they might also be part of the gang. All the information was gathered to be sent to the police. Captain Hodges of the Special Forces said that this area, which is inhabited by people without special powers, has become a hotbed of crime. We will soon raid the special district. Leo and Chloe were frightened because they recognized him. He was, in fact, the leader of the same gang whose face they had seen during the fight the previous day. Chloe opened the paper and discovered it was a flyer for Mira's concert, with a small map drawn inside. They realized that the gang would attack the concert and that people like them would be blamed. Leo, in a panic, started packing his belongings to leave the city. But Chloe said they had to save the people. We're the only ones who know where the attack will happen. So many innocent people will die there. Can we let that happen? Leo replied, "What can a man whose lower body is paralyzed and a 2-year-old girl do?" Hearing this, Chloe burst into tears. She called him selfish and ran away. Leo couldn't stop her even if he wanted to. Then, a flashback shows a young Leo sneaking into his father's office to look at his files. There, he discovered that he was special. As soon as his father found out that his son was special, he apprehended him. Remembering all this and looking at his mother's watch, Leo decided he had to do something. A few hours later, Chloe returned and saw Leo adjusting his suit. She helped him put it on. Leo tested his limbs and said he would catch Hughes and make him confess his crimes. Leo fashioned weapons for himself from various scraps and demonstrated his strength by bending even metal. Chloe noticed some special wires inside the suit and rushed off to create a chemical that would activate the weapons. At that moment, Mira was performing a concert in the special district. The crowd was completely out of control. People were pushing against the fences. Security was struggling to hold them back. After the concert, Mira was about to board a bus when the guards shot and killed her security and manager. Then the rebels arrived in a truck and started writing their message on the walls. Hodges threatened Mira, telling her to come with them quietly or things would get ugly. Just then, Leon arrived, wearing a suit and mask. He jumped down from the balcony and immediately started attacking. But because of Chloe's chemicals, plants started growing on his suit. The thugs laughed at this, but Leon used the plants to his advantage. One man was knocked out by the gas, and another got tangled in the vines. Chloe called out to Mira from a stolen car, while Leon fought Hodges and his men. At first, Leon was landing some good punches, but then the whole gang surrounded him and knocked him down. That's when Chloe hit one of the men with the car. Leon seized the opportunity and jumped into the car, but Mira started screaming. There was no time to explain, so Chloe quickly drove away, taking them all to safety. They quickly reached home and locked the doors. Outside, the gang members were searching for them in the streets. Meanwhile, on TV, reporters were saying that there had been an attempt to kidnap Mira, but an unknown hero had saved her. On the other hand, Mira saw that Leon was injured. She quickly bandaged his wounds and told him that she had wanted to be a doctor. Chloe drew a picture of Leon that made him look like a flower-wielding superhero, which Leon absolutely hated. But Mira said it was great. Then Leon told Mira the truth about Hodges. Mira then said she wanted to go home as soon as possible. She had an event with Frank at the family center the next day. Leon suspected that the anti-genetics gang's next target would be Frank. They had attacked Mira today, so they would surely attack Frank tomorrow. This gang was against enhancements or modifications made to people after birth. They believed that people should remain as they were born. Mira wanted to warn the police about all this, but Leon refused because Hodges was also a police commander. They then made a plan together. The next day, Mira and Leon went to the family planning center, pretending to be a newly married couple who wanted to have children. Since Mira was famous, she told the doctor that she hadn't made an appointment and hadn't told anyone about her husband because she wanted to protect her family from the media. Leon somehow convinced the doctor to give them a tour of the facility. During all this, Leon cleverly stole a key. Then he distracted the staff by saying that Mira would perform for everyone. He gathered everyone in a room. Just then, members of the anti-genetics gang arrived, and Leon confronted them in the lobby. The thugs attacked him, so Leon released gas bombs, which even melted their masks. Initially, Leon fought very well, but there were too many of them. They overpowered him, and the thugs started beating him. Hodges removed his mask and repeatedly punched him in the face. Suddenly, Frank's security arrived, and the thugs fled. Mira then revealed that she had called Frank because she realized there would be too many thugs for Leon to handle alone. Leo asked why the guards didn't follow the thugs. Frank replied that Leo was more important to them. It turned out that Frank was actually Leo's father. Chloe was completely shocked to hear this. She was bewildered that Leo had lied to her all this time, telling her that his father was dead. Angry, she ran away. Just then, reporters arrived, and as soon as Frank saw them, his politician mode switched on. He said that his son was proof that the gap between genetics and those on whom the flower treatment hadn't worked had widened significantly. Therefore, he urged everyone to vote carefully tomorrow. A week later, it was announced that Frank's project had been approved by almost everyone. Many buses arrived in the special district, and all the poor people were taken to a medical camp outside the city. After this treatment, they would no longer have any deficiencies. Therefore, their living area, the special district, would be opened up, and everyone would live together peacefully. There would be no restrictions. At the medical center, Leon asked where Chloe was, but Frank said they couldn't find her. When Leon mentioned Hodges' name, Frank changed the subject. He said, "Don't worry about all this. I just want to treat you," Leon reminded him. "When you tried to treat my mother, she died. Do you remember?" Frank apologized and admitted he had made a mistake. He said that his mother had also left a letter, but he had been afraid to give it to him until now. By the time he mustered the courage, Leon had already left home. Leon then opened the letter. His mother had written that she had to leave them, and she apologized for it. She wanted Leon to become a good man, but she was afraid that the anger inside him would consume his heart and fill him with bitterness. She told him, "Son, learn to forgive people, because no one is with you until the very end." After reading all this, Leon started crying. Remembering his mother, Mira came and took Leon outside for some fresh air. While walking outside, Leon saw Chloe and apologized to her. How could Chloe stay angry with her brother for long? Then Leon said, "I think Frank orchestrated all the attacks so that his project would be approved. But before they can catch him, they need to find evidence against him." Chloe had an idea and asked a man with an eye prosthetic for his camera. Meanwhile, the doctors announced the next patient's name. In the lab, Chloe crawled into the vents and started recording. Hodges and Frank were talking to each other. Their conversation made it clear that they had both committed the crime together. While sedating some of his patients, Frank was explaining his plan. He wanted to extract a specific gene from these people's brains. Then, he would inject that gene into people who had special abilities. Frank was calling it the next evolution of humanity. Frank explained that this would make them even better. They would remain young forever, regardless of their age. He didn't care about the specials, these disabled people. He only wanted to use them to extract that gene. A little later, Chloe played the recording for everyone in the tent. Mira was crying and apologizing to all the specials present because she hadn't known anything about it. Leon repeated his mother's message that they were all equal. There was nothing wrong with them. They were human beings too. Saying these things, he incited everyone to fight. He said that he wanted his suit back at all costs. Chloe then revealed that she had already stolen the storage keys. The next day, Frank and some nurses were coming to Leon's room to treat him. Leon was wearing his suit under the covers. He immediately grabbed his father and snatched the injection from the nurses. Frank said, "I did all this for you, son. I want to cure you." But Leon said, "You're nothing but a monster." Leon then locked him in the room. He took some gunpowder from Chloe and ran towards the security room. He fought the guards there and knocked them down. But one guard quickly pressed the alarm button so that everyone would know about the disturbance. Meanwhile, Chloe connected the camera to the computer so she could send the entire recording to the police as evidence. Before Leon left, Mira kissed him and told him to be sure to come back. Over in the tent area, Hodges had arrived with his gang. Leon and the specials surrounded him, and a huge fight broke out. The specials only had ordinary objects like pots and pipes, but because of their sheer numbers, the fight was evenly matched. Leon's suit gave him the strength to fight many people at once. However, Hodges called for backup, and many armed men arrived. Several specials fell fighting, while Leon was fighting Hodges alone. After a while, Hodges knocked Leon down, and Leon tried to escape by running away. Meanwhile, in the security room, a man grabbed Mira by the throat. Just then, a special arrived and quickly killed the man. The computer finally uploaded the footage, and Chloe quickly called the police. In the lab, Leon was crawling to save his life. Hodges came from behind and attacked him. Now they were fighting between the tables and control panels. Leon opened the Genesis tree machine and then threw something, causing a crack in the glass. After this, Hodges grabbed Leon and beat him, throwing him onto the machines. This shattered the entire glass. Hodges was about to kill him when Leon suddenly plucked a flower. By now, he knew that plucking the flower would cause spikes to emerge from the tree. They pierced Hodges' face, and he fell. Meanwhile, the police arrived and arrested all of Frank's men. They also found a lot of evidence. Then Chloe and Mira rushed to see Leon, and this time Leon stepped forward and kissed Mira. A week later, all the news channels were exposing Frank's heinous plan. People were saying that a masked man had saved everyone. There were rumors that he was Frank's son, but the police denied this. Frank himself had escaped. Now the government also ended its policy of keeping people separate. Everyone was free. Anyone could go anywhere. During all of this, Mira's vocal cords were damaged, so now she can't sing. But she's very happy with her life with Len. However, Frank was still on the run. At the end of the story, we see him watching his son from a distance. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel.